to Omin Mesa Saga The Telling. It's 10, I think. Pretty sure it's around 10, number 10. What episode is this? 10! Yes. Last time I talked about part 6.2, I think, which is like the strength of nations, and some stuff happened, and we said some things, and people did some fighting, I guess. The shaman guy showed up, so that was something that happened. Well, now I'm on to 6.4, 6.6, because there's a lot more action involved in these episodes than there is dialogue. So these are going to be a lot shorter, and that's also why I'm dragging this part out, because these timelines aren't going to take very long. Anyway, let's do this. So, while recovering at a cafe, Stagger overhears a broadcast about a time-space anomaly happening in East Mesa. A broadcast about a time-space anomaly happening on East Mesa. Sir Clayton's factory on North Mesa picks up the signal. Sir Clayton, yeah, he's got some factories, places. He's making androids and robotics and ships and a whole bunch of stuff for Sir George's army right now. But secretly, he's kind of fed up with war and planning something else. The Watcher telepathically tells Golu to get to the spot and recover what is about to come through this anomaly from the other side. So now we have at least 3 people converging. So we got Stagger who knows about this, we've got Sir Clayton who knows about this, and we've got Golu who knows about this. Well, I guess the Watcher knows about it, but he told Golu to handle it. Did I mention the Watcher? Yeah, it's just Golu in disguise. Or not Golu, it's Lumen in disguise. So Golu, Stagger, and the cyborg, not an android, just another cyborg, kind of like Legs. It's one of Sir Clayton's new cyborgs, 421. He found a willing participant to accept cybernetic implants. I don't know if I mentioned him or not. He's very in the style of the movie Grease. He's like a 50s gangster guy, a 50s teenage, I don't know. They all arrive on the location at the same time. 421, the cyborg, starts laughing hysterically at his opposition because he's looking at Stagger and Golu, and he doesn't really know who they are that much. He hasn't seen them fight, but he is aware that he should be stronger than them. It's because of the way he was designed. Let's move on. The rift settles, and what remains is a robot with a missing arm. Just mostly a skeletal robot, but he's got an arm missing. Not much form to him. 421 stops laughing and declares, he's just like, look, guys, I work with the robotics expert, I work with the android maker, Sir Clayton. This thing was clearly left for me, so, hit the road, guys, because I'm taking it. I'm just going to take it. Golu stakes a claim, however, saying that the Watcher sent him, so he's here for a purpose, and the purpose is to claim this robot. And Stagger is just like, guys, I'm in the middle of training, let's fight. All of you, including Golu, his friend, because why not? So, yeah, they fight. They get together and they just start bashing it out with each other. They're just fighting. And that happens here for a while. And then this episode, called An East Discovery, wraps up with the East Alfred, who approaches the 3 while they're in combat. The East Alfred stops their fight to protect his land and his people. And then he tells them to settle this with their words and leave. But then the unknown shaman appears again, duh, but he surprises everyone and declares that he'll just take the robot. He's like, guys, why fight about it? You could just let me have it. You didn't let me have the last one. You might as well let me have this one. The East Alfred recognizes him from his attack on the North Alfred and attacks the shaman. He just gets in there and starts to just attack shaman. But the shaman is unfazed. He's unhurt. He doesn't care about being attacked. He's unknowingly powerful. I don't know. You don't know. Nobody knows. Who knows? Nobody. That's why they call him unknown. But during this fight, 421 grabs the robot and leaves, and nobody notices it. He just takes off. So 421 ends up getting the robot. The East Alfred sees that the robot is gone. Unknown stops entertaining the East Alfred because that's all he's doing is just entertaining his fight, and leaves. And that is how an East Discovery ends. But on this episode of Omin Mesa Saga The Telling, I am going to cover 6.6 as well, which is called it's just called Unnatural Being. So let's get this one out of the way. You may remember some characters from some previous stories, and this one is covering one of those characters. And this is how they actually get introduced to the story. And if you have been following me on DeviantArt, you are aware of who this character is, and this is the first time I'm explaining their origin. And this is also why I had to include 6.6, because if I hadn't, I would just have this character around all the time in the main group, in Golu's main group, who nobody understood where they came from, because he wasn't here earlier. Anyway, a South Mason clone. Anything yet? No. Okay. Breaks out of a West Mason lab and rages all over the place. So he's just full of rage, and he's just letting it all out. He's smacking things, punching things, blowing things up. And we're dealing with energy combat here, and we have been for quite a while. Most people know energy combat. The South Masons are really good with energy combat, and his clone obviously going to be energy combat proficient. The West Alfred tells his army to go and destroy the clone. The West Alfred's all about armies, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that yet or not, but the West Alfred, he gathers armies. The West Alfred is... Wait a minute. Did I say the East Alfred teleported him away? The East Alfred didn't teleport Unknown away. Unknown just left. The West Alfred teleports. The East Alfred is attack and defense. Evened. Edit that. Don't edit that. I don't care. You're listening to this point. The West Alfred tells his army to go destroy that clone. Guys, get it out of here. He's breaking stuff. Come on. Go get him. Well, they go, and the clone fights them, and the army fails because the clone's rage is just so strong, and his energy is just flowing and bursting. Remember that moment in the Broly movie where he's all over the place? Yeah, kind of like that. Well, the Watcher, again, tells Golu to handle this situation, which is a request directly from the Council, because the Council's now concerned about this. So the Watcher's like, guys, I get it. I got a guy. He's on it. Golu, he's my man. He failed once, but that's cool. He's getting stronger. He's getting better. He's learning. I'm going to go tell him to get this clone guy. So Golu arrives to handle the clone. And as they fight, because he's still raged, Golu tries to talk and reason with the clone. Come on, man, seriously. What are you doing here? Look at all this destruction. What's the point of this? Why are you doing this? And the clone's just like, I don't know. I'm just so angry. I just need to punch. I need to let it out. I can't handle this. Like, why are you angry, man? He's like, I don't know. So, it didn't work. The clone tells Golu that he was created and he was left in a cage. Some people called him the one in the cage, but he was designated as Cage 808.
And that the research he had read about himself before he had destroyed it said that he wasn't actually a Mason. They didn't clone a Mason to be a Mason. They cloned a Mason to be a human. So he is actually a human clone of a Mason. They took his DNA and changed it.
And that's probably where all of his rage comes from, is the change in his DNA. They did something to him to make him this way, and he can't quell his rage. But while talking with Golu, he tells Golu that he wants him to knock him out. He's just like, Golu, the only way You have to knock me out. You have to put me out of this. I have to be blacked out. I can't be conscious right now and calm. So just knock me out. Goku, well, having him in a full Nelson, holding him down while they're having this conversation, just headbutts him in the back of the head and knocks him out. And you think everything's fine, but then the shaman shows up again, and he's like, obviously, he's just like, whoa, you got him! Good job! Now it's time for me to take over. I'll just take him back to where I'm, living, and just give me this clone. And Goku's like, no, dude, get out of here! What are you doing? Stop showing up like, who are you anyway? And Shaman doesn't answer, he's just trying to take the clone. But then the West Alfred shows up and teleports unknown away to the other side of the universe. That's when that happens, because the West Alfred does the teleportation, not the East Alfred. Anyway, and that's what happens. That's the end of it. Golu ends up actually winning one, and he's got this clone that they're going to end up calling Cage from now on, because that's the coolest name that they had for him. And he's going to wake him up in a secure position later on in his dojo and see if he can get him to calm his mind. So, that's it for this episode. I hope this worked out well, just me doing this. My name was James Gray. I forgot to mention that earlier. And this was Omin Mesa Saga The Telling Part 10. Yeah. So, check out more. I'm sure there's... We've got plenty more. This is the 10th one. If you haven't seen the others, why are you watching this? Go watch the others. And like, share, comment, subscribe, stuff that you already know to do. There's no reason for me to tell you because it's just annoying to hear it. Goodbye.